Hi everyone, Sarah Pacaro, Rapid Transformational Therapist, and I am excited to share with you guys so much information about narcissism. So first of all, know that you're not alone. I remember that being my first feeling. I completely felt isolated and alone. That's what they want. But you'll notice a lot of other common behaviors, and so many people ask, like, are these people all the same? And it sure feels that way. But there are lots of common behaviors, and some you will experience when you're first getting to know them, some you will experience as you're getting to know them, as the relationship progresses and the gaslighting intensifies and you start to question and wonder, is it you? You even experience these behaviors after the relationship has ended and when the relationship is over. I know that's still the boat that I'm in, especially when you have a child together. So it's a journey. It's a journey to figuring out what it is, and then a journey to discovering how to heal from it. And that's the journey that I help you with. But these are some of the common behaviors that you'll notice most with narcissists. Last week I talked about the different types of narcissists, and then the stages of healing, stages of narcissism, the stages of healing from that. And some people wonder, I don't know if this person is. And it's not our job to diagnose them, but it is our job to become aware of what we're experiencing, and our job to change our behavior and our thoughts in order to move forward and heal from this. So some of the behaviors that you'll notice, the first one is that they will rush intimacy. And the funny thing is, you actually notice you never were intimate, but they will rush this relationship and fall in love really quickly. I remember being told I love you on the second date. You can't love someone that quickly, because love is something that grows and develops over time. You get to know somebody and you get to know if you're truly compatible, but you'll notice that narcissists rush this intimacy. They rush love. That's why it's called love bombing, because it really feels like a bomb was dropped on you and went off, and suddenly you're in love. So you'll notice that they fall in love really quickly, or make you feel that they've never felt this way about anybody else. And this is a hook. It hooks you in because it obviously makes you feel so good about yourself. Oh my God, I'm amazing. I'm better than everyone you've ever known. Wow, I must feel really special. And of course you do. And this goes into this charming personality. So narcissist charm is part of this fake persona, is part of the mask that you see, and then you see the mask slip when the real them is revealed. But this charm is part of their fake persona. It's part of what gets you hooked in. It's a manufactured role that gets played in the relationship when they first meet new supply, because they can be whoever they want to be, and when they go out in public they can be whoever they want to be. Their stories get to create this, oh my God, you're just amazing. So hiding behind this charming facade allows them to hide who they really are. And that's the danger of these kind of relationships, is when the mask slips and you see who they really are, you're already in it. But this fake persona, this charming personality, allows them to gain trust, allows you to get hooked in and have this appearance of innocence. This appearance when they destroy their victims is that they're actually the victims. The victim's not the victim. They are. This charm is false, and this charm is often disintegrated behind closed doors. So the victims start to question themselves, this gaslighting. You got that feeling in your gut that something's wrong and something's off, but then you feel powerless to do anything because everyone else and outside sees this other person, this charming personality and this fake persona that they've created. So that's where this cycle begins. You go out and this person charms the world and they're like, wow, look at me. And then they, seem to put you up on a pedestal, only to come home, have those doors close, and be a completely different person to you and ignore you, belittle you after they come home. Another personality you'll notice, this was an experience of the past narcissist, they want sex very quickly. This is a part of them love bombing and moving quickly. They are hypersexual. They're very, very sexual. They want to have sex very quickly. And then later on, you learn that they were doing this with multiple people. you learn that they were on online dating sites or on like hookup sites, and they had all kinds of sources of supply, even though they made you feel like you were the only source and the main source. But everything they were saying to you, they were saying to everybody else too, all their sources of supply. That's why even after the relationship ends, you find like they move on so quickly. How is it that they like have a new partner already and they're like engaged or in love and getting married and like buying a home with this other person? So this hypersexuality is a red flag, and it's a warning sign, something to definitely not push under the rug or ignore. You'll notice that they need to be the center of attention. They will do everything to be the center of attention. They will pretend to cry. They will pretend to feel bad and to like really be listening and understand. And eventually, every social situation you find yourself in with a narcissist becomes about them and about what they want to do. They will not like maybe going out to birthday parties or going out to dinner or going out with your friends because the attention is on the birthday person, or the attention is on that person, or the attention is on your friends and it's not on them. So you will find that they become very rude, they become very belittling when the attention is on anyone but themselves. If they don't get their way, expect them to act like a 4-year-old throwing a tantrum in the middle of a grocery store because they didn't get the candy bar that they were begging for. They get angry. Oftentimes this leads to drinking or cheating and then blaming you. Well, if only you wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have done this. And they deliver punishment upon arriving home, often if you live together. So you'll find that you get home and all of a sudden World War III is happening in your house because of you, something that you did. But then they perceive, another behavior trait is that they perceive to be a good listener. They listen with the intent of showing you, oh, I really care about you. And they're building the rapport, they're building the script of what they have to act like in order to please you and win you over. So they seem to be listening, but they're not. They're listening, they're picking up on things that they can later use against you. And one of the biggest things that you'll notice, maybe we'll go over like 2 or 3 more and then I'll save some more for tomorrow, but you will notice that they do not take any responsibility at all. I just had a really disheartening situation with a past narcissist in my life that other people really, really get hurt when they drop the ball and take responsibility, and they always drop the ball. They never do. They don't feel like it's that they have to, because they're above it. And they don't take or accept responsibility for their actions. There's no consequences, even when it comes to having to deal with a narcissist in court or in a divorce or in a parental custody battle, whatever it is. Like, they will do whatever they need to do to not have to take responsibility. They will lie, they will manipulate, even people in positions of power, because they feel that they're above them. It's never their fault. In fact, it's your fault, or it's someone else's fault. They blame everyone else. They, like an ex or a boss or a friend or whoever it is, like whatever the situation is, not their fault. So what do you expect them to do, right? I can't control anyone else. Don't ever expect an apology from a narcissist, because in their really twisted, warped mind, they've done nothing wrong. And besides, it wasn't their fault. It was your fault, or someone else's fault. It wasn't their fault. So even if you do get an apology, even if you do get oh, I'm sorry, it's not genuine, it's not sincere, it's not like someone who really feels like, I'm sorry, and because I feel bad, I shouldn't have done that, because I truly am sorry, I'm going to change my behavior and my ways, and you're going to see different actions. You will notice that even if you do get an apology, nothing changes because of that. So the last 2 behaviors we'll go over are narcissistic attachments. So what that is a belief that the child of a narcissist exists only for the benefit of the parent. They manipulate and they use and they triangulate their children, and they do this for a status reason. I'm working with a client right now who just shared that her ex-narcissist got full custody of his daughter, and she's just like, Sarah, it's sick. You should see the relationship. Like, they're best friends. They do the weirdest things together because it's this attachment that they have. This child they use as a status symbol. They use to say, oh, look at me, I'm such a great parent, and look, I like all this love. They get this outside validation from being a parent, and oftentimes their children are their pawns. They don't actually put in what they need to be a parent who can establish a healthy model of, you know, being responsible and having boundaries and taking care of yourself. And you'll notice that this leads into the last one that we'll talk about today, is that they're always playing the victim. They paint themselves as the victim. They paint themselves as innocent in all aspects of their life. They gain pity, and they use this pity to gain control, to manipulate, and to win. That's bottom line what they always want to do. They're actors. They literally are world award-winning actors, and these roles that they play are always the victim role. In truth, what they're doing is abusing. They're abusing physically sometimes, mentally, emotionally, they're abusing spiritually. It's confusing, and it wreaks havoc. It wreaks havoc on everyone involved. It wreaks havoc on the current partner, ex-partner, the children, everyone, because of this mistreating and this like torturing the ones that love them or care for them. And they get often offended by somebody telling them the truth. So you come out with the truth, you better expect narcissistic rage, because you've induced a narcissistic injury. You've deeply hit their biggest fears, which is the fear of abandonment. And when you tell them the truth is that what they're doing is not right, and they see that, and then they act like these trapped animals in a cage, and then they lash out and they defend their role of victim. And it quite often is like a very similar picture of that. If you've ever, you know what that looks like, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to go over some more terms and behaviors about narcissists tomorrow, but I just wanted to share this with you guys today to kind of just make it really real, like what you have experienced, if you have had an experience with one, and to get on your journey to healing. 2 questions. Ask yourself why, and ask yourself how. Why did I get into this? And to answer that question, you've got to go within and look within. And then how did I get into this? Very similar, same thing. You have to go within and look. It's not about looking outside of yourself anymore for anything, a relationship or what else, but it's about going within and answering those questions for yourself and seeing what about you led you to this type of relationship, and then healing from within to do that. And that is what I love sharing information with, and the journey that I love taking people on. So if that's where you're at, I hope this information helps, and please reach out, connect with me. We can schedule a time to talk a little bit more to take you on that journey. So thank you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day.